Molly amiamo creato e iniziato da New Jersey. Last week today lived presentato da Fantastic Comics and Art.
Let's fucking go.
Oof. I have to make sure to lower the volume in my headsets, or on my phone, I guess I should say, before I hit that go button, because Jesus Christ, I just blew out my ears once again, like I do every Saturday morning. And on that note, hello to all my friends out there in, no matter where you are, YouTube land, Facebookville. Where are we going today? I don't think we're doing X today. All right, that came out wrong. I don't think we're doing the Twitterverse, wherever. Let's be real. Nobody says X. Nobody says that. Everybody still says Twitter. Elon, look, I'm not going to yell at you. There's a lot of people doing that for no reason, or reasons I don't know. Just live with it. Come on, no more X. It didn't work. Just go back to Twitter. Yeah. Hey everybody. After that rousing introduction, welcome back to the channel. I've had a very interesting week, which we're not going to talk too much about that stuff, but it's been a good week. I do have a guest waiting in the wings, as they say. I don't know where they got that from either. As you can see, yes, I've already caffeinated myself this morning. Following up with a little bit of water there. So before we bring our guest on stage, let's see who's here so far. And I appreciate everybody who's come in, of course. Big shout outs to Fanboy. I didn't get to watch it this morning. I got to catch the replay. Just needed some extra Z's, and Trader Joe's was calling, of course. And Cliff, Cliff's got a great show going. Oh, they both have great shows going on. I was enjoying myself a little bit in Cliff's chat. Almost too much, because I was like, I got to go and set up. And yes, that was a scratch, see? Las Cruces from New Mexico. How you doing? I'm always impressed when I get somebody from the West Coast in, or when I even see the West Coast in these chats, even on different shows, especially on earlier shows, because it's like, okay, you guys are either early risers or late resters, I guess. I don't know what they say. Neil Collects, how are you, my friend? Neil, I have an AOK to send out to you that I just haven't had the time or ability to do so yet, but I'm going to send something out soon. I have actually a few AOKs I want to send out. Mr. Wellbore, up in the wilds of Canada, how are you, sir? I hope that you're warming up a little bit there. I don't know. Every time I look at the news, it says there's a big heat dome or heat wave coming, and then it's like, oh, it's in the west. It's like, is it supposed to be warmer there anyway? So I don't know. The Uncanny D-Man, David. I've been enjoying your IG. I haven't had too much time to hop around this week. And I'll tell you guys about that. Not today, maybe not next week, but definitely the week after. Oh, and David, I've been meaning to say, I didn't realize you have a picture unmasked on your IG. I was like, that's the man behind the mask. Neil's here with the rats. I'll be honest with you. I understand rats, and this is even on Izzy's. I personally, and I know that this isn't a reference to real rats, I personally hate rats. I really do. I can't bring myself, that's why I can't bring myself to do #rats, rats, mice, anything, any kind of rodent I'm not a fan of. Zach, how are you, sir? How are you? Oh, our guest, Mr. Roscoe, is here. Trev, how are you? Yes, my wife has kind of told me, hey, can you guys just broadcast downstairs? Just my little guy's eating, and he's getting at that age where he gets automatically distracted. So that's why we are down here. So once he's past this little span of time, I guess you could say, we'll do that. Didn't break the camera either. Yep. There you go. It's 39 and raining here, but I'm asking you, Wellbore, if I may, is 39 like the equivalent of like 70 anywhere else? You know what I'm saying? Relatively speaking, is 39 like spring weather for where you are? I'm going to be honest with you. I've visited Canada, lovely country. I couldn't tell you what is where. I guess geography is just not my strong point. I was in Quebec. We're talking a long time ago. It was 1996. No, I know Fahrenheit and everything, but I'm just saying, relatively speaking, like 39 is cold to me. But is 39 cold to you? Like, here's the deal. If 39, as I hit the wrong button, if your average temperature is like -10, 39's got to feel like spring or summer weather. If you live in the States and you've ever visited Florida in the spring, when it's like 70 there, and you walk around wondering why you're in shorts and a t-shirt and everybody there is in winter jackets, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so it's cold. Okay. Well, hopefully it warms up soon. But yeah, I was in Quebec in 1996, right around the time of the Atlanta Olympics. I remember because I can't remember the guy's name, but he won the gold medal for running. And yeah, people were like cheering in the streets, and I was, yay, you know, like, I'm from America, but I'm gonna cheer with you. And I was in another part of Canada, but I don't know what part because I was in high school. That being said, I am ready to bring our guest in, who's been waiting very patiently. And let's see, add to stage, Mr. Roscoe. How are you, sir?
What up, Phil? How you doing, brother? Appreciate you
Good,
having
good.
me on, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you waiting while we did a little geography lesson and random kind of sports trivia that really didn't go anywhere. But there you go. I'm going to say this first. I am so thrilled Roscoe is on with us, just like a little hangout type of thing. Every time, I've been doing this show for a little while now, and every single time I'm like, I want to invite this guest, but I'm nervous. I procrastinated because I was like, oh, I got a lot going on. I was like, finally, all right, let's throw it out there. And it was almost like you sensed in the ether that I was going to message you, because it was pretty quick. Yeah, dude, I'll be down. It was meant to
absolutely,
be.
bro. I appreciate, honestly, I appreciate all your support, man, for Between the Lines. Thank you so much, man. You know, I know, and I just want to shout out your wife, Mrs. Philtastic, for watching the kids while you are able to do this show in the morning, as well as you have time to draw for our show every Monday. So I want to say thank you to both of you. You guys are awesome. We appreciate you
Thank
both.
you. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you. And
she's
like I
not
said,
watching. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
When I had TM on, and now I have Phil on, and we're always excited to see what you come up with, man. Like, like you and all the rest of you guys, you guys are so creative. But I'm like, what's this guy thinking of? And dude, this last week, the Golden Girls, awesome, bro, awesome.
Thank you. First of all, I'm gonna say, I think pretty much everybody here's familiar with it. Like I'm kind of like the end of the buffet. Like everybody's seen everybody else, but here we are at the end. But just in case you don't know, because I do broadcast to other venues like LinkedIn, which may or may not be to my detriment. I don't know. If you don't know, Roscoe, and he has a guest host. Sometimes it's TM. Lately, Phil's Treehouse has been filling in. Has a wonderful show every Monday night called Between the Lines that I think it's, to be honest with you, I think it's one of the most original ideas out there on YouTube. And that's saying a lot because, I mean, look, you make content, it's like, hey, everybody's doing unboxings. Everybody's doing this. Everybody's doing that. But Between the Lines is definitely unique. And I kind of see it as almost my little like oasis. Like it gives you time to stop and pause and say, hey, I need to be creative now. And look, if whether you're an artist or not, first of all, it's just fun to participate. It's a non-judgmental space. I've done things so far where as soon as I put up like, oh man, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. But it's not about making the next like great masterful piece of work. It's about just having fun. And that's
absolutely
great. Yeah. And look, if you are a creative person, I think that that creativity is a muscle like anything else. And if you don't flex that muscle, I think it deteriorates. We're going to get a little bit into that. I do have to shout out, I see Manny jumped in here. He's a in-betweener. And yep. Mama Roscoe's here. Cindy, how are you?
Hey, Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to say thank you so much for those kind words. But that's exactly what the show is. All I want the show to be about is fun. That's it. That's all I want you to do. I don't care if you're not an artist. We want you to just have fun with it. As long as you're having fun, and also like if you don't feel comfortable drawing, or if you don't want to get to that point, but ask questions in the chat, fun questions, anything you want to. You like, I didn't want it to be a structured interview show either. You
Hmm.
know, I got to a point where, I was missing a lot of the chat, and that's why we brought in TM Nerdy, and it was just perfect. It just worked. So we incorporated more of the community by asking questions, shout out my guy Phil right now. You've been asking some amazing questions. I love it. But I mean that's it. Just like have fun. I don't want a structured like, what was your favorite you know what I mean? Just like, your favorite comic book, but you know what I mean? Like, I like this, like the silly
Hmm.
stuff, like, what food
Yeah.
do you hate? Or like, Phil says, Phil's treehouse goes, pineapple on pizza, you know what I mean? And that starts a whole thing too. And I love it. I mean, that's what we're all about though. It's just to have fun. But again, Phil, yeah, exactly what you said, man. Yeah.
Now, and I have to bring up the pineapple on pizza. Your mom and I had a discussion a couple weeks ago in the chat, and I always feel bad talking too much in the chat. Like sometimes, like, am I like pissing off other people from asking questions? But we were having a good chat. I didn't know that you actually were born like the next town over from where I grew up.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, how long have you been out of New Jersey?
20, over 20 years now. 21 years now. I've been out of New Jersey and in Florida.
So I bring that up because I have a theory. I have a theory that a lot of the pineapple on pizza people, as we say, have never had true New York, New Jersey pizza, or maybe they're in a spot where, I don't know about Florida, but like I had a slice of pizza out of Vegas once that apparently was so bad I blocked it out to the point. Look, I'll say this. It was about 15 years ago at this point, my buddy's 30th birthday. A bunch of us were all planning to go out to Vegas, and it turned out to just be two of us. When it came time to, all right, let's put the money down. And it was, I think, the first and last time I had absinthe.
Oh.
And like, it wasn't bad. I'll say this. I was never a heavy drinker, but absinthe, like, if you don't know, it's very strong. And in fact, they say, hey, if you're going to drink this, then that's it. Don't do anything else. And apparently we were on Fremont Street and got pizza, and I just put it out of my brain. And to the point where I argued with a friend of mine that I was with for like months after it. Now, granted, we didn't have smartphones, or they were just kind of getting smarter, I guess you could say. So he was carrying around like a little old school digital camera. And it wasn't until we were hanging out and he remembered to bring the camera that he showed me the picture. And then it was almost like a Christopher Nolan movie, like it flooded back. Like, yeah, I remember taking a bite and thinking, wow, this is like somebody took a box of Elio's, took all the pizza out and just threw sauce and cheese on it. And I was like, now I understand why they say don't order pizza outside of New York and New Jersey. And I guess in that matter, I could say, look, if your pizza is like that, I can understand you need to throw a pineapple on it to cover it up. But yeah, sorry, that was a long trip for a little bit of a story.
Oh no, yeah, but you're absolutely right. New Jersey, New York pizza, ain't nothing like it.
And a little bit of Connecticut, I'll say that.
Oh yeah, the New Haven style.
Yeah,
there's some good New Haven style. I like that too.
We visited Mystic on our first wedding anniversary, just out of the blue, and I had forgotten about Mystic Pizza. And I'll say this, it's good for that area. Where at around here, I'd be like, this is okay. I've had worse, but it wouldn't be my first choice. Just my opinion. Oh. But anybody who, like David here, who is saying chicken, pineapple, jalapeno, no. I say this, go on something like a Gold Belly, get yourself some pizza from Jersey, and then tell me you honestly need pineapple or something on it. And I'll say this too, a little controversial. I'm not for this hot honey trend that's going around. Keep honey on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't fathom it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being cranky.
Actually, it's funny you say that. I got Lay's just came out with it, right? And it was on rollback. And I was like, you know what? I don't really eat chips that much anymore, but I was like, let me try these. They were like the sweet and spicy honey. Gross. Disgusting. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what to do with them. I guess I have to throw them out because they taste like ass. I mean, they're horrible. They're so bad. But oh my god!
I would say throw them to the pigeons, but I feel like they're just going to take a bite and leave it.
Yeah, it's weird what they're doing with flavors though and stuff. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. The hot honey, one pepperoni.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I haven't tried it yet, but I have friends that are like, "Oh man, that's good," but they're from Florida.
There you go. See, it's kind of like we were talking about with Wellbore, the weather. Like, I need to know, is it relative? Like, maybe what's great in Florida, if you come to New York and New Jersey, is just not good.
Yeah.
But we may never know. So one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on your most recent episode, you actually sent me on a little bit of a mental journey that I had totally just not even thought about. So why don't you tell everybody, usually I tell people talk about comic collecting, which we could certainly do at some point, but I want to know, tell me about Rosko, the artist. How did you start and what was the journey that got you to this place right now?
Well, I've been drawing since I've been able to pick up a crayon or, anything. And we were talking a little bit about that. And I didn't get anything. I don't have anything from my childhood right now. But if I do, I will definitely. I'll have to post something. But yeah, I went to school and I fell in love. My art teachers. Shout out, rest in peace to Mr. Hawthorne, who was he was my middle school, junior high, or no, he was my junior high art teacher. And then shout out Mr. Tullio, who was my high school art teacher, both awesome guys. Oh, man, so they've kind of guided me because they weren't okay. So Mr. Hawthorne was a little structured, but not like too crazy, but still like you got to do like this, and I'm like, okay, but I still didn't like that. I want to be out, get me out of this box, but his ways and stuff did help me, and just like if I draw something and the anatomy doesn't seem right, like to me, I've got to do it over. I'm like, the arm doesn't bend like that. What's wrong? You know what I mean? So like I can hear Mr. Hawthorne say that. But then I had Mr. Tullio in high school, and in high school I did all kinds of stuff. I tried airbrush. I've done like all kind like painting and everything. And so I just fell in love with art, and in high school, like I said, Tullio was more outside the box and do whatever you want to, be free, like playing the Beatles, honestly, in our class, you know what I mean? Just like he was awesome. He was definitely a chill dude.
Now, at any point did you ever start considering maybe I want to do art as a career?
No, because I wanted to be a football player. That was my main objective, was to be like, I'm a big guy. And so I was like, well, that's what I want to do, but it didn't work out. I actually had, when I was a little bit younger, I had broke 4 bones in my leg, my ankle, my tibia, my fibula, and my growth plate.
Oof.
All at the same time. And that hindered me from playing. I tried playing in high school and it didn't work out. My leg would cut off circulation and stuff, so I couldn't get down, it just, that didn't work out for me. And ended up, what happened is that was all New Jersey. And I kind of after that I kind of just was coasted through high school. Did a little bit of art, but nothing crazy. I mean, I kind of felt because I guess I was bummed, but at the same time, whatever. And then you do high school stupid stuff, and but then we moved here to Florida, and I tried to start new, and I went to school, and I was going to school to become a teacher at first because I thought that's what I wanted to do, and then I switched to that, and then I switched like, no, let's do art, and then with that, I had to like redo everything in art though. Like I had to start from the bottom. So it was like color and design, one, and I had to take art history, which I mean, let me tell you something, is a lot harder than you could ever think in your entire life. Art history
Oh, I know.
is I thought history was tough. Art history is even crazier. I mean, because you're like 1 week you're doing cave paintings and stuff, and you're like you have to learn that, and you're like, huh? And then you do the Renaissance, and and then it's like then you get a test, and then it's like, okay, let's do this, and you're just like, man, this is a lot. So I mean so I had to do a lot of that when I was in college. I ended up not finishing college. I was in graphic design and stuff like that, and classes were too much. And so that's it. And then I really just doodled. I just doodled. That was it. That's how I kept my mind, I guess, going. Like you said, that muscle. And it
Mhm.
was very weak, though, because all I would do is doodle. I wouldn't do anything else. I wouldn't draw anymore. I didn't draw anymore. I guess like around 2014, I drew something. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then, and that was it. I kind of like fell off again until the pandemic.
Mm.
The pandemic hit. I was drawing a little bit before that, just like, again, I started doodling again a lot more and stuff, and like getting to a point where it's like, oh, this is pretty cool. But when the pandemic hit and I met the comic book community, my mind just, like, you ever see that meme where it's the guy from Tim and Eric Awesome Show, and he's like,
Yeah.
right? So that's what happened. And so I just, someone was like, "Hey, have you ever drawn on a blank cover?" And I have a whole box of those short, like blank covers because I just thought I was like, "I'm gonna bring these to cons," and now I didn't go. So I started drawing on them, and I started doing that. And but my first piece, my first ever like getting back into it in 2020, I drew Man Thing. I have no idea
We
why.
jumped right in there. Yeah.
No idea why. Just was like, let's do it. Let's try this out. It came out really cool. And I was like, all right. And shout out to our man Pocan Joe. He owns it. So that was like my first, like, just like getting back into it. And then I did a Wolverine cover, which I donated to a buddy of mine, the comic book kid. I donated that to a buddy of his had passed away, and his wife was trying to raise funds, and so he was doing an auction, and he was like, hey, have you ever thought about drawing? And I was like, yeah, why not, let's try this out. So I drew a Wolverine. I don't know if I have it on my phone, but it's it's a side profile and his mouth is open, but I gave him a gold tooth.
It
And
works.
that was the spark of me thinking about doing mashups and different stuff, because after that I did Thanos with a big rope chain and a big Infinity Gauntlet charm around his neck.
I think I remember seeing that. Did you have that online at one point?
Yeah, I put that up. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, but yeah, but I did like, so that started to spark me and do like these mashups, like these, like, okay, what would people think about like Mr. Magoo as Daredevil? I mean, like I did that cover, you know what I mean? Like, so I thought about doing these things, and what up, Cliffy?
Mhm.
And it, like, if you want me to show one real quick, I got
Oh,
stuff
absolutely.
next.
I have to say, I'm glad that you said that you didn't have any of the stuff from when you were growing up with you, because I didn't remember. We talked about maybe comparing at one point, and I
Right.
didn't think about. I forgot about it totally until you mentioned. I was like, oh crap, it's in my basement. I gotta go grab it. So that's good. We'll have to save that for another day.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I like Willy Wonka Joker. You know what I mean? So,
That's cool. I don't know if I've
and
seen that one.
yeah, I did this on Between the Lines. It
It's
was
very
oh gosh, it was comic book. Hey, thanks, Trev.
mhm.
Comic book crossed over with musicals. So, like I said, Joker, the Joker Bar.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
we
Oompa Loompas came out really
that's
well.
is that when you had Chalk Girl
Yep,
on?
Chalk Girl.
Yeah.
Yep,
No, I do
exactly.
remember that one now. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I like to. Here's this one was great too. I like this one too. The
Oh yeah, yeah. And that I remember when you showed that on your show, it fit so well. The two characters fit so well because
Yeah.
Robin, I remember watching that cartoon a lot when I was a kid. I think has that kind of same bravado, for lack of a better word, as Nightwing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, oh man, that just worked out well. And then you have Lady Fantastic on who wants to do Lord of the Rings hot dog characters. So I did Gandalf the Glizzy here.
that's cool. I'm surprised Comics by the Bay hasn't asked you for that one.
Well, this one actually, don't tell Lady Fantastic, but I'm bringing this to Heroes Con to give this to her because I don't think anyone else should have this but her because of her silliness. So,
Oh yeah,
um, yeah, but no, I know I know he's wanted that, but
yeah.
but yeah, I grabbed a whole bunch of stuff I had over here.
Lady F, I have to say, is one of the most entertaining people I've ever watched. Uh, I keep going back to when she was on Gary B's show, and her and Remy's wife were just talking about just Gambit and Wolverine, just for like a good 5 minutes, where Gary was just kind of sitting there like, "Okay, you guys just run with it. It's fine."
That's fun. Yeah, I love her. She's great. I think she's Jack just said, "Is Lady Hero coming to Heroes?" I thought that's what she said. Am I
I don't
wrong?
know. I
Thought
just
maybe I'm
assume that
wrong.
I'm the
I
only
thought I heard
person who's
her
not
say
going there
that
at this
she was
point.
going. Huh?
I just assume I'm the only person not going there at this point.
No, there's some other
I
people, like
know.
the
Yeah.
Council of Phils. I don't think are going. So next year, that you guys, all the Phils have to go.
I have to say, the whole thing, it depends on the kids. Number one, traveling from Jersey to really anywhere outside of Jersey with, at that point they'll be 3 and 1. Yeah, a little
Oh
rough.
yeah, I hear you.
But
Okay, yeah,
maybe one day, we're.
okay.
I keep saying, we're gonna build ourselves up. I think with like Garden State Comic Fest first, which they have here actually. I think it's the week after Heroes Con, so it's coming up quick.
Oh,
Um, yeah,
okay.
that's if you're
Well, that's
ever.
real close too. That works out real well.
Oh yeah, and that's a great little con because it's not too crazy. You could go for comics, you could go for celebrities. It's one or the other. This year is the first
Nice.
year in a while I have to say that I'm kind of like, oh, I really want to go, but it's just not going to line up just because the some of the celebrity guests, and some might find this funny, include one of the actresses, okay, from Pitch Perfect, which was a movie, believe it or not. I used to like sit and watch like crazy just because it was on HBO every minute at one point. But that's a whole nother story. I want to get back to Mr. Roscoe here. I do have a question for you,
Absolutely.
just out of curiosity, because I've talked a little bit about my own kind of journey through art. I still have to kind of finish that discussion now that I think about it. How did you find art classes in college compared to high school?
Oh, like I said, it was like my high school art teacher was, he was like Tommy Chong. He's that, very laid back. But in college, nah, no, 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 do it like this. No,
Hmm.
do it like this. Like, and I had one cool college teacher. Everyone else was basically just, here's the book, read the manual, make sure it looks exactly like it. And it's like, this is boring as hell. I'm sorry, but this is boring to me,
Hmm.
and you don't make this fun, like. But I did have a college teacher, but it was typography. I don't know if did you take typography?
No, they covered it a little bit in the graphic design course I took, but
No.
nothing specifically just for typography.
I took a whole course on typography, man. It was ridiculous. But the coolest, like I said, he was cool, but at the end of the semester, like the end of the semester, the course, you made your own font, and that was dope. That was the
Wow.
coolest thing. So, and I have like, I kind of have a like my, so I kind of just I did my own because the way I write, like I mean, my hands were a lot better then, by
Hmm.
the way. But I have a like the way I write, like print, not cursive, um, is like a specific way, and so I just did that,
Hmm.
and it worked out so well, and a lot of people dug it because I have a little of a flair on it, nothing crazy, but also so that was a lot of fun. But like I said, man, college was just too do it like this. Do it like that. What do you mean? No, no. Do it like, and it
Hmm.
was like, man, no, nothing of your own creative design. And it was
Yeah.
just, I was bored with it. But high school, I loved. Like I said, I did so many different types of art. Like I said, airbrush was fun, man.
Hmm.
Airbrush was really fun. So, but yeah,
Yeah. No,
painting. I miss painting.
I'm curious because I asked that because my experience with that going too much, I felt like I got in there freshman year and I was like, yeah, I like comic book art, and then they were like, no, don't do that. We're a college, even
Yep,
though we admitted you by looking at your stuff onto that. Don't do that. Which a whole nother thing I could go off on. Real
absolutely.
quick, I'm going to say, Paul, yes. Trev, not a guilty pleasure. I celebrate Pitch Perfect. Manny, that's
Mm.
cool. I was trying to think. I lost my train of thought. I have to say, I have some blanks. I actually owe Trev a blank that I've been working on forever. And I'll say this: Roscoe's one of the people I've gone to, like, not to just ask for tips, and it's not even just for technical tips, but I think what a lot of people don't realize. Tell me if you feel the same way, Roscoe, as an artist. When you try something, it is a lot of getting out of your head, because I've been in things like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, and I've almost been like, all right, I can't do this right now. I have to, like, it's almost an anxiety.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Absolutely. Yeah, when I'm trying to come up with stuff, I'm the same. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna, yeah.
Yeah, but
But
I'm still working on Trev's. I got to say, Trev, I am ready to do it. I actually have a little something special coming uh, to supplement some stuff. So it's going to be a little bit longer, but it'll be worth it. I promise.
yeah, Phil, I to touch on what he also said there was, the anxiety. Now, with my hands and stuff, like sometimes, no lie, like my hands will go like if I'm holding it for too long, my hands will be like, hey man, you gotta like, you can't hold it for that long, because they're already messed up,
Hmm.
uh, so when I'm inking something, man, I'm like, okay, let's do a little bit. Okay, let's do a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the thing is that, I do apologize. A lot of people, if commission work and stuff like that, or anything like, I take my time because it's very important for commission stuff. Like where I'm doing stuff for the show, like unless it's like really crazy, where one time I was drawing a bender piece and my hand literally just cramped, and I like did this line through almost the whole half of the freaking page, and it was like it's ruined. I was like, I got to start over. And then I
Yeah.
drew a really cool Inspector Gadget head where the links are all like, going around. I think I have that somewhere, but yeah, but yeah, I deal with that anxiety. Yeah, see, oh, okay, here it is right here. Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but I was doing this Bender piece, and like I said, but commission stuff, like I take my time,
Mm,
because like I said, it's my hands are not good.
mhm.
So I just, I want to make sure, because I've done that before where I was working on a piece and literally like my hand just gave out, and it was like, I can't do anything to fix this. I have to restart this whole piece.
Yeah,
And it's so aggravating. And but like I said, I just want people to make sure that they're patient with me, because it's, I'm not out there going, hey, I'm doing this real quick. You know what I mean? I can't
yeah.
do that with these hands. It takes me long time, a long, long, long time. Like the piece, um, shout out C3.
Oh yeah. I was gonna get into that. I'm glad that you went
Oh,
there.
oh, okay, all
No,
right,
no,
we can
no,
get.
no. Well, let me just say this first, Trev. Don't be sad, because what happens is only the only way to go through the anxiety. It's not the person requesting it that does the anxiety. It's just our own limitations, whether they be mental or physical. And hey, fanboys here. How you doing, sir? I have to
What
watch
up?
this replay later on, actually. But the uh, the only way to get through that is to actually finish the piece, because once you do finish the piece and it's awesome, you do get that like little dopamine hit, I guess you could say. But that exact reason what you were saying with the hands and everything, that's why, like, I know a lot of people have been dunking on Frank Miller lately, just because, look, some of his stuff is like, really, that's what you're doing now? But hey, look, he's an older gentleman. Your body just sometimes can't keep up with it. Like, look, I got back into art right before the pandemic because I had surgery and was kind of sidelined just from work for a while. I had a torn a biceps, believe it or not. And I was sitting
Oof.
home doing nothing and was like, all right, let me try to paint again. And now, like, I know if I push myself too much during the week drawing, I have to take 2 or 3 days, or else I get like a lot of inflammation, a lot of pain, you know, start cracking like crazy. And it's just part of the process at this point. But
So true.
C3, now, in case you don't know, uh, the good people over at C3, DJ Links, Rob and Mark over at Legion of Comics, um, I don't know who, but they had this great idea of let's put together a community art book. And both Roscoe and I were lucky enough to have been tapped for this book. And yeah, Roscoe, why don't you go ahead and talk about it a little bit?
Oh, no, I was gonna say, I was gonna lead into that because of, like, that piece that I did for C3, well over 150 hours, for me. So, and well, a lot of people haven't seen it yet, so,
Right.
you'll see why, when it's revealed. You're gonna see why this thing, because it has to be an 11 by 17. So this thing is massive, first off. And but well, like me, I mean, I did on the 11 by 17, and I have to ink it and I have to color it, so it was a lot. And but I really hope people like it. It definitely brings a tear to my eye, but in all, it was a good, awesome piece that I did. But again, with my hands and stuff, that thing took me, like I said, well over 150 hours to do.
I can only imagine. And I'll say this too, and I don't know that anybody's spoken about this yet. I don't think that there was one person involved in the art book who didn't say that there was a little bit of a challenge with it, as far as taking us all out of our comfort zone a little bit, whether it be the size of the piece or, like me, I right now primarily sketch on the iPad, and it's just because it's cheaper, it's a little bit more forgiving for you know one way or the other for whatever it's worth.
Sure.
um, I do pen and paper, but you do have to kind of shift it. Like, I'll be honest with you, at one point I was drawing something on pen and paper, actually when I was doing the original piece, and I'm wanted to like erase it on the iPad. You just double tap to like undo, and I'm drawing on the paper, and I'm like this. Why? I was like, oh yes, because this is pen and paper.
Brain glitch.
Yes, but yeah,
I wish that was that easy, bro. Are you kidding me?
oh yeah. I
God,
did
I
it,
wish
and
that.
part of it I think is because I was working at night, and your brain is just not working yet, or at the end of the day. But yeah, it's going to be
What a
good. Yeah,
comic that.
Dracula, Dracula has a piece in there too. I'm
Yes,
excited
yes,
to.
indeed.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the book. So, real quick,
Me
if
too.
you're headed to Heroes Con, to Comic Con, to Heroes Con, put an extra $20 aside. Look, that con
Absolutely.
exclusive that you were going to get with that $20. I'm going to be honest with you, you'll probably be able to get it cheaper afterwards anyway, or not at all. You can go one way or the other. But
To be honest with you, I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna sell out. I mean, I
oh yeah,
already, I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's so dope. There's so, I mean, like they gave a taste of some of the pictures, but that ain't nothing. You know what
oh
I
yeah,
mean? Like there's so much beautiful artwork in this book, and like I said, all the proceeds go to Comics Curing Cancer. So do yourself a favor if you're not going to Heroes Con, hit up someone that you know, someone that you trust, that is going, and see if they can grab you a copy and Venmo, Zelle, PayPal them $20, and they can get you this book. I'm telling you this. And then honestly, I want to say something else, Phil. I think this is
go ahead.
also cool if you have a channel, and this is, I think, an awesome giveaway. I think a big giveaway if you get this as well. But I think they're going to sell out. I really do. I
I think so
really
too.
think these are going to sell out because they are so awesome. They're so dope. So but again, do yourself a favor. Heroes Con, I think it's booth 1769 at
Yes,
Heroes Con.
yeah,
I'm just pulling that out of the air, but I think that's it. But
it
if
sounds
anyone
right to
has,
me.
Trev, if you could drop a link to the Comics Curing Cancer Instagram as well, that would be awesome. If no one is following them, if you're not, do yourself a favor. Yeah, but I'm pumped for this art book. Again, me and Phil are in it. Actual Dracula in the chat as well. Man, it's like I said, it's dope.
Yeah,
It's going to be amazing.
and if you look at that channel too, I know that they showed a little preview of Austin LeMay's piece for it. Ignacio's Superman one, which was like
Oh,
they just started
right?
selling prints for that. I'm kind of on the fence of should I ask somebody to just get a hold of a print for me? I don't know, just because I don't have wall space. So like right now, any print I buy is just kind of like on top of a cabinet at this point.
Right.
But yeah, and I don't think I'm giving anything away. I think somebody actually spoke about it. Come October, you may have a chance of getting a hold of some of that original art during
Oh,
the actual Comics Curing Cancer auction. So
100%.
yeah,
Yeah, I
but
think I want to say maybe more than half of the artwork may be available. But I mean, don't quote me on that, but I want to say there's going to be quite a few. I know mine is definitely going to be up for auction,
yeah.
and I'm almost thinking about buying it back. No. It's but yeah, I mean it took me a long time on that piece. But yeah, but if you, like I said, but if do yourself a favor, yeah, and be there for the auction come October. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
oh, and Trev, thank you so much for dropping that, bro. Appreciate you, man.
yeah, Trev is the blue wrench extraordinaire.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. I actually I remember because I had
Yep.
done the paper version of mine like 3 or 4 times because it didn't look right to me. And I was like, okay, hold on. These are supposed to be roughs. So I wound up, I think, sending DJ like 3 or 4 3 or 4 of like the sketches. Like, look, I don't know if anybody's gonna buy this, but if they do, you could do it as a 1 and 3, you could do it as 3, do whatever you want. Okay, so going back to artwork here. Trying to get back into it. Well, I mean, let me ask you, I just because I'm assuming, judging by the characters, I know you're a big fan of cartoons.
Oh yeah.
What comics are you actually into? Because I don't know that we've ever actually spoken too much about comics.
Cartoon. I actually okay, so I am into the cartoon. But nostalgia is my biggest is my what I want to collect the most is nostalgia, is my biggest thing. So that and hey, don't be telling everyone about that. It's worth millions. Um, uh, but yeah, I do. I collect like so I'm trying to get all of Bob's Burgers. I'm a huge Bob's Burgers fan. They're right behind me over there, the whole family. There they are. Um, yeah, I'm a huge Bob's Burgers fan, so I'm actually going for all of them. I have number one issues that I got. One at Heroes Con last year, and then just recently I grabbed a unbelievable price. But anyway, so but cartoons, and then like I said, I like nostalgia, like movies, like remember a movie called Meteor Man?
Of course, with
Okay, so, my dad, shout out my dad, Papa Roscoe there. My dad, he went to this and he was like, he FaceTimed me. So I was like, all right, what you got? So he's going through it, and there was a Meteor Man issue number one newsstand. And I was like, you gotta grab that for me. And it's super duper clean. It's unreal. And come to find out, 9.8s go for like 100 and some odd dollars or something stupid.
real.
But yeah, and you would never think that. But again, I like the weird. I do have a really, really bizarre book that says what is it? Elvis and Hitler's love child has just been discovered or something, and it's like a fake newspaper on the front. You know what I mean? It's so I like the weird. I like the weird, the bizarre. I'm a big Marvel guy. I like Marvel. Um, I also like first appearances and what up, Durs?
Yeah.
I like first appearances if it's the character that I really like. Now, for example, I have X-Men. Shoot, I just blanked on what it is. What's it? 10. It's the first time that Colossus and Juggernaut fight. Is it 10?
I'm not good with numbers, to be honest with you.
104? If I'm
I
not
think
wrong.
it sounds
But
right.
anyway, but I have that, and that's I don't think I'm ever gonna have, like who knows? I mean, I would love to have. I love Juggernaut and I love Colossus. Both of their first appearances go for quite a bit of money, but this I got for an unbelievable deal in an 8.5, and it's a newsstand, but it's beautiful. But it's them fighting, and it's the first time they battle. So to me, that's like that's huge. So I like keys, certain keys. But cartoons, man, cartoons and nostalgia are the majority of my collection. I love turtles, but that I feel like that goes under the cartoon aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird. The weird too.
Yeah.
um,
The weird is always the most interesting because it makes you, at least in my opinion, stop and go, what's with this?
Yep. Here, one more weird one for you in my collection. I wish I had it. I'd show you, but shout out. We have comic issues. My guy sent me an AOK, and awesome dude, and he sent me Arnold. Well, it's supposed to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it's like Arnold Schwartz and Heimer or whatever versus Big Bird, and it's them fighting each other, and and it's just never in a million years would I think that a comic book like that would ever exist. And sure enough, it's one of my
Big Bad
Roscoe
Blood
is
of
the
Dracula.
Hitler Elvis book a Big Bad Blood of Dracula Apple Comics. No, it's actually like an old like an offbeat, indie, oh man, I don't think it's in that box. It might be in that box. But yeah, it's like, it looks like a newspaper, like those Phil, remember when we go to ShopRite and the tabloid, all those things,
Oh, like an Inquirer.
Yeah, Bringo. Yep.
There you go.
So that's what it's like. That's what the front of the cover looks like. But it's like from the 90s, and but the book is made up of all kinds of like it's like a cracked or a mad, where there's just a bunch of different random like goofy like
It's like a anthology almost.
Not really. It's more of like just a bunch of, like I said, the Hitler or the Elvis Hitler is a random It's like a random story in there, and then there's also yeah, I guess an anthology in a way, but it's like more of like the Inquirer, where it's like telling you like these stories, but it's like, oh, octopus baby was born in Claremont Hospital.
Keeping it local. I like it.
But yeah, but yeah, it was but that's what it is, Drac. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Well, I think what you guys have to do is
I'll have to
both,
send you a picture.
put it up on IG, tag each
Yep.
other.
Yeah, I think it's in that box. If not, it's in the box. Oh, it's over there. I know exactly where it's at. Okay, perfect. I just remembered.
Your organization is kind of like mine. Like, okay, it's not quite alphabetical. It's just kind of like where I know things are.
Well, I did a show called Cover Slingers for like quite a while over the Shutout Gray Man and stuff. I don't really do it much anymore, but doing that show made me just have my collection all out of because it's like you have to find books with skulls one week, and then next week it's and then it's like, so I have them off to the side, and I'm like, oh shoot, where did I get those from? And so then it got like, I just got all chaos here. So now I'm like, whatever. I think it's in that box. Now I put stickers on certain boxes, and it's like I have a Bob's Burgers sticker on. I'm like, all right, Bob's is in there with half other cartoons, and I have a Rocco sticker on that one over there.
I've been trying to organize my comics, I think, for 3 or 4 years at this point. And it's like, I started out like, you know what, I'm just going to go all alphabetical. And then I think I got into it. I was like, alphabetical's just not going to work.
Yeah, right.
So
now
it's just kind of like,
oh,
I know where these are. No, where? I'm sorry.
Drac sent me the picture. That's not the one. That's freaking awesome. But no, this is mine is black and white, and it says but it's like, it says Elvis and Hitler's love child. I'll send you a picture after the show, but it's wild. It's ridiculous. Like I said, I just have weird stuff in my collection, keys, and 90% is nostalgia cartoons. Like Cool World. Remember Cool World?
Oh yeah.
I got Cool World. I have the comic, the mini series, as well as the one-off comic adaptation. So you remember a cartoon Camp Candy with John Candy?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Okay, so guess what? I'm collecting that run.
I don't know why, but I specifically, and this just pops into my head every so often. It's just how my brain works. There was one episode where one of the kids stole an I Love Broccoli t-shirt, but he felt bad about it and put like $1 under this. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, good. I feel like I made it up for a second.
No, you're absolutely right. It was I loved that cartoon, and it went on for just a couple seasons. Some people may think it went for one, but I think it went on for like 3.
Really?
Which is wild, because like if you think about it, like other ones that are more popular, like Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck did. I mean, that had two seasons. I mean, it's ridiculous.
You have here's the thing that people don't remember.
Or one
like
season?
That was like maybe the 3rd or 4th of those Disney after school shows
DuckTales?
that came out. Yeah, but not like the 3rd or 4th one to come out. And I just remember, I think after, like, when they were hyping it up, it was like the FOMO, excuse me, the hype was real, because they just started out of the blue one day. There was no, now I'm going to sound like the old guy, like, there was no internet to take a look at or anything like that. It was like, hey, in 10 days, Darkwing Duck is coming. I don't know what that is, but I got to be here in 10 days. And it was awesome.
Yeah. Do you remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Used to be on every day.
Oh, yeah.
That was wild. That was crazy. You'd run home to get to watch that because that came on every day, which is crazy, because you'd think like some of these cartoons come out once a week or something, but this came out every day. Oh, and Darkwing had 3 seasons. I thought it had less than that, but yeah.
Darkwing was interesting to me because it was like it had the charm of like a DuckTales, but at the time it was like the closest you could get to. Because I was trying to think, what year did it come out?
93.
Like, as far as the Disney cartoons go, it was like the closest thing you could get to Batman.
Exactly, Batman animated series. 91 it started.
Yes, I mean, they were probably trying to ride that wave a little bit. Now that I think
Yeah,
about
but
it.
yeah, Batman animated series mixed. Yeah, exactly. That's like what you had. Oh.
Phil, it was a broccoli
Oh.
T-shirt. Let's get the record straight.
But yeah, Batman animated series has comic books as well.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, I have issue number 1, which is a super iconic one with the Penguin. I also have Superman Adventures. No one gives that any credit. That was a great cartoon.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I like all that. You know, I like all that kind of stuff. But mostly, like I said, it's about the cartoons and nostalgia for me. I'm trying to get rid of a lot of my my other like my collection that is not that anymore. Like,
Hmm.
like when I first got back into it, I have like a ton of DC and a ton of Marvel stuff and
I gotta say, I don't know Might or Bots.
hmm,
Hmm.
still waiting for season 2. I don't know what that is either.
I don't know.
Mighty Orbots. Hmm.
Yeah. Now that you say it too, because I mean, you mentioned Ninja Turtles. Without Ninja Turtles, I probably would not have gotten into comics. It's
Okay.
making me think now. I've heard of a lot of LCS owners, at least in my area, say, "Oh, the younger kids just don't collect comics like the prior generations." That's kind of why we are where we are as far as the average age of the collector. I'm wondering, and the blame is, well, you have the internet and video games and everything, but there is no Saturday morning cartoon block anymore. I don't even
Yeah.
know if there's cartoons on after school anymore, to be honest with you. It makes me think, maybe that's what this generation coming up is missing. And I mean, just like you said too, I don't know that I would have actually ever started drawing hadn't it been, hey, let me try to draw Leonardo, you know,
Yeah.
a team of 7 robots. Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
not.
I just looked it up. It's like an old, I think, anime,
Hmm.
or cartoon. But yeah, there was. I just looked it up. I kind of remember it, but yeah, season 2. Hey, you never know. I mean, look at what happened with X-Men '97 finally came out. So who knows? Someone may make a.
There you
Who
go.
knows?
Fanboy, you got to petition
There you go.
Disney. I would say go to Disney first, maybe your Netflix. Go right down the line. Start with Disney, go to Netflix, go to Prime. I would say go to Hulu after that, but you already went to Disney. Go all the way down until you get to like Pluto and say, hey, look, you guys
Hey,
have to redo this.
hey,
You never know.
Tubi or Pluto, they may do it.
Yeah. And if Pluto, well, maybe not Pluto, because I feel like they're all, hey, do you remember that show you used to watch 20 years ago? Well, here's a channel of it. Have at
Yep.
it. My in-laws, my brother-in-law, pulled them off a cable and they just use Pluto. So you go over and it's like, oh, here's 8 Star Trek channels.
I love it. They have Mystery Science Theater 3000 on there.
Oh yeah. Now I actually I brought that up while we were there, and my son looked at it for a few minutes. Cause yeah, like just the silhouettes are funny. He just kind of laughs and says, "All right, I'm gonna go run around now." Um,
Fanboy says it was on ABC way back in the day, so that may be under Disney.
that's what I'm thinking.
That may be it. There you go, Fanboy. Let's do it, bro. Start that petition.
Yeah, I have the
Hey,
biggest problem watching a lot of game shows just because it's like, why am I cheering for these people? I don't know them. Maybe I
I
should
love
start
it.
cheering for the actual show to win. Like,
I'm like, go Martha, you got this. No,
Fanboy, now you have to do it because we're all gonna just watch your IG for these stick figure people. Are there any current comic book artists that you follow that you look for?
well, I love Scotty Young, Umberto Ramos. I
Hmm.
love Umberto Ramos. I also I gotta give love to like Guy Gilchrist, who I met. He's an awesome guy. He did we were just talking about it, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the day.
I'm sorry, I had to put that up.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
you need that on a bumper sticker, Fanboy. Look, I don't
That should
buy
be a shirt.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say I don't buy a lot of community T-shirts or anything, just because I feel like everybody's like, "Hey, buy mine and I'll buy yours." But
dude,
I
that'd be
would buy
great.
that shirt in a minute. I'd buy 3 of them.
That is great. That would be hilarious. Oh my gosh. I know Phil's Treehouse would probably buy one. No.
Yeah. Oh, and I would be remiss in mentioning, you do need to go if you're a fan of Between the Lines. Consider going to their merch shop where you can get such great things as the Between the Lines Grape Smuggler, um, Roscoe's new Mediterranean cookbook, Greek Out with Roscoe, best Slovakia recipe I've ever seen. Can I just say that I said that to my wife, like, "Oh yeah, he's kind of out with this book," and she's just like, "What the hell's wrong with you? Really?"
That's amazing. Greek Out with Roscoe. Get out of here. Oh my gosh.
See now,
Oh,
I'm not. Look, I don't tell people what to do with content, but all I'm saying is that if you and Phil, because Phil, I feel like has that great QVC like approach to videos. Like I like that like itchy and weird places stuff. If you guys want to run with like a faux Greeking Out with Costco with Roscoe.
Costco.
Yes, I'm sorry. The coffee is officially wearing out. It's like Altered Beast if you played that back in the day when you get hit too many times.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
we. All I'm gonna say. Oh yes, I'm sorry. The mildew resistant shower shoes and curtains.
And also don't forget the Roscoe weighted blanket that will hug you every time you want to feel safe.
Sounds
Um,
cozy. Yeah, you. I feel like you need to check out one of my favorite artists, Mike Del Mundo, because he does
oh, I
a.
love Mike. I mean, his
Oh
crossover stuff is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love him. Yeah. I was about to call it's what Deadly Mike.
yes. Oh yeah.
That's my guy. I
You
love
been
him.
to
Yeah.
his website?
I've never gone to his website. No, no.
Do
I
yourself a
just
favor.
his
Do it.
Instagram all the time. I'm always on there. Big MF Doom dude too, man. So
Yeah, but you got to see. Just I bought like a bunch of his stickers, just the stuff he mashes up with the X-Men, or even just I love his piece. He's got Galactus like taking a bite out of the planet like it was an apple.
yep. Oh
Um,
yeah, that's cool.
and he
Oh, I
has
love it.
if you've ever seen his Elektra run, I'll be honest with you, the writing in that run, eh, his artwork in it is phenomenal. And he has one particular panel. I've done a video about it. I actually have a print of it that's framed but not hung up. That I think is the seminal piece of narrative storytelling for comics. That he nails in one. I'll say this. I say panel, but it was a splash piece. The entire history of Elektra in without using any word balloons really or anything. It's just I can't say enough about it.
Yeah.
Look for the heart piece, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, Drax says he's awesome. He's in Toronto. Yeah, I love. Yeah, he does awesome crossover. I love his hip hop stuff. It's so dope, man. Yeah, I do like him. I do like him a lot. Absolutely.
Yeah,
He is.
because
Yeah, it's funny. I never really think I never thought about him until you said that now, though. But yeah, I do love his crossover stuff.
oh yeah, and especially you want to go back look at some of his stuff on Superior Foes of Spider-Man. This particular cover I love where Superior Foes you were following like a bunch of C villains during the Superior phase, and there's one cover where it's supposed to show them like robbing a bank, I guess, or running away with money, and you just see like Benjamin Franklin on one of the bills, just like he's muffled, like he's got a gag on it. It's just
Oh,
it's great. And actually, I'll say this: I first got into his stuff on after Xavier was killed in Avengers versus X-Men. It's a spoiler. It's over 10 years old, and he got better, like they all do in comics. Um, the regular X-Men book turned into X-Men Legacy, which the interior art on was terrible, but the writing was solid, and almost all of the covers were done by Mike Del Mundo. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Roscoe, look it up. I'm telling you right now.
hmm.
Some of them are just like I would have never thought to do that mashup, and now I can't unsee it.
You know, he one of my favorite covers that he did was actually pretty recent. It was just a couple of years ago, maybe last year, even no, maybe 2 years ago. It was the copy machine Mystique.
Yes, I love that one.
All the different pages that were shooting out were different people. That was so ingenious, so ingenious.
Look up when Marvel started going a little crazy with their variants. They had one that was like characters as animals, I want to say.
Okay, I have some of those. I like the weird. Told
Did you see? Did you see the Magneto mouse one?
Absolutely, and yeah, with the
I
trap.
I love that one. Yeah, like it took me months to hunt that one down.
Yeah,
I'd be
that
calling
one's.
random
I don't
shops
have
like,
that one,
"Do you
but
have the Magneto mouse?"
oh yeah, right. Huh?
uh,
Oh, here, you want to know something really funny? Real quick, and this is a side note. It has
sure.
nothing to do, but like when I was at Heroes Con last year, before the Biker Mice from Mars news came out, I think it was. I was asking everyone because I was looking for it, and everyone looked at me like I had 8 heads. Man, let me tell you, it was so funny. But it was just like how you're saying, you have the Magneto mouse, and they're like, what?
Probably, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, go check over there. No,
Well,
no, but yeah, he did. Yeah, I do remember that one. I'm trying to. I'm gonna look up more covers and see what else he's put out.
that and he did one that I think it was for the Invisible Woman series, limited series they did a couple years ago. Talking
Road
about it looks
trip.
them what
Road trip.
he did one on Road Trip. But wait,
Oh,
does it look like a model of Invisible
yeah,
Woman? Yeah,
Invisible Woman.
yeah,
Yep.
that one. No, you know what the other one I was thinking about? He did this one you would love. He did a Big League Chew with Jubilee.
Jubilee.
Yeah.
I have that too. Yes, yeah, I do. I love those, man. Those are great. Yeah, it's funny now. I'm thinking about it. Like maybe I do have a lot more of this than I think I do. But yeah, I do have the Invisible Woman model. Like it's on like it's like on books. It looks like a chemistry or like or anatomy class or something. It's so
Yeah.
dope. That one's dope. But yeah, I do love the Jubilee Big Chew. Heck yeah, I had to have that. I think I may have two, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I do that sometimes by accident, but
Yeah,
well,
but it's cool because if I find it, then it's like that's a fun book to add into my mystery boxes that I do once in a blue moon. So
I know, and I have to make sure that I jump on the next mystery box because I feel like I had gotten like 2 or 3 mystery boxes, and then I was like, oh, it's a Roscoe box now too. It's like I can't financially
I
be
hear you.
responsible and keep jumping into boxes, but
Oh
I'm
yeah,
looking
I
out for
hear
the
you.
next Roscoe
I'm
box.
actually going to be selling a bunch of my artwork, here to see if I can make some extra dough before Heroes Con. So
Good. Be on the lookout for that because look, Heroes Con is coming up quick.
next weekend.
Yeah, very quick. I know I've had you on for a little over an hour. I want to be generous with our time, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. You probably said it and I forgot it. What is the theme for Monday's show?
Oh, the theme for Monday's show, we will have Brandon from Mon Comics, great guy, and his theme is going to be Hellboy.
You did say that. Yes. Now that you said it, I remember it. Yeah, because this
Yeah.
one, I as soon as you said it, I'm like, it's going to be tough because I know the Hellboy movies. I haven't read any of the books, but
I'm gonna, me, I'm probably gonna think of a crazy mashup.
those are the best ones, though.
Yeah, I was gonna show this real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
I can't find it though. Where art thou?
Well, while he's looking, I'm going to just say to everybody, if you do not regularly, if you haven't done so already, or even if you have, make sure that you save some time Monday night, 8:30 Eastern, to go 8:35, excuse me, to go check out In Between the Lines with Roscoe and special guest co-host Phil's Treehouse. As he just said, Brandon from Mons is going to be the guest, and the topics are going to be Hellboy. So now you have the whole weekend to think about it.
Absolutely. Right. Yep. Yeah. Have the whole weekend to start it, think about it. But I just wanted to show this real quick. I'm going to be putting this up.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. And it's like 11 by 70. It's a big piece. So,
And
but
I've never thought about this, but I feel like Patrick and at least the Sonyverse Venom would be a great team up.
Oh, right. Oh man, but yeah, Phil, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks for coming and just hanging out. You are always more than welcome to jump on, sir. You know,
Awesome.
I didn't want to take up too much of your time. I appreciate you being generous with it.
Absolutely, bro.
And thanks for everybody here who checked out the show. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to sign off. I'll leave you guys like we always do. Peace, love, and comics.